Hi, I'm Douglas Zytko from Oakland University, and I want to start with a sobering truth. Online dating is dangerous. Users are taking a risk when they transition their online interaction to offline, and women are disproportionately at risk of these face-to-face harms compared to men, such as violence, stalking, and harassment. So my team wondered, how could women be empowered through online dating interface design to make better informed face-to-face meeting decisions and therefore better manage the gendered risks that they assume? So we created an online dating interface prototype that we call the Prompted Discussion Interface. It essentially prompts two users to discuss their opinions about a hypothetical scenario involving a conflict on a first date. And in assessment of the interface, we had two variations of that prompted discussion interface. One where they're prompted to discuss a disagreement of opinion regarding the scenario, and one in which they're prompted to discuss an agreement of opinion regarding the scenario. And then we also included the typical open messaging interface where users can discuss whatever they would like as a sort of a control or a comparison for our interface. So we conducted a mixed methods study utilizing speed dating events. Some of the daters at the speed dating events participated in focus group discussions to provide qualitative feedback about the prototypical interfaces before engaging in the typical speed dates, while others actually used our prototypical interfaces to have messaging interactions with other daters that they would later meet face-to-face at the speed dating event. So to give a very brief summary of our quantitative results, for women, we found that the prompted agreement interface variation was a significant improvement over the typical open messaging interface for informing their face-to-face meeting decisions. However, there were no significant differences between the prompted disagreement interface variation and the typical open messaging interface. And the focus group data provided a possible explanation for this. Some of the women in the focus groups said that they feared arguments with men if they were prompted to discuss disagreements, and that usually stemmed from their personal experiences in which arguments inadvertently came up during interaction. For men, we found that the prompted agreement interface was significantly worse than the typical open messaging interface for informing their face-to-face meeting decisions. And data from the focus groups suggested that men might have misinterpreted the visualized agreement of opinion as a signal of compatibility, like a match, that would therefore make women more attracted to them through the course of the messaging conversation, which of course was not necessarily the case. So to sum up the findings from our study, we found that the prompted agreement interface variation did help women make better informed face-to-face meeting decisions. However, the interface also inadvertently introduced a new risk by worsening men's face-to-face meeting decisions and potentially leading them to misinterpret attraction that wasn't really there. So while that finding is concerning, the study as a whole does provide a valuable lesson for HCI research. So if we had only collected data from women, our target demographic for the interface, the prompted agreement interface would have looked great, but by incorporating users from other demographics such as men, we saw another side to the story. So we believe that in order to fully understand the expected and unexpected implications of a new risk-conscious design, user demographics other than those that assume the risk must be included in the research, most notably those that pose a risk to others. So that's it for my short video. I would like to end by acknowledging some positive real-world impact of the work. At least 3 romantic relationships started between our study participants. And if you would like to know any more about this study, please read the paper. After all, this is a 30-page paper condensed to a 5-minute talk. So there's a lot that I breezed through. And I would like to end by saying that we are actively recruiting new PhD students with funding available. So I'm Douglas Zytko from Oakland University, and thank you for watching.